Welcome to the 15th of March. As you can see, today was PPI day and retail sales that came out actually a lot worse than expected, indicating, fueling the pivot prayer narrative that the stock market greed train always loves. And at the moment, it's been a mess, right? We had Credit Suisse, as I believe that's how you pronounce them, also come out and say their shareholders don't want to give them any more money, invest. And with the SVB scare as well, this is just flooded the market with more FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and obviously it's put the market on edge, right? And so you can see this impact here was very minimal. These data results were minimal because that Credit Suisse article and all of that news actually came out around 11:30 a.m. my time, or 11 a.m. my time. So all of this is actually, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but a lot less, or dampened was the best word I found to use for this. It was dampened impact. So if we have a look quickly onto GJ, we did take some trades. Took a trade this morning. We were looking initially, before this data came out and this news came out, we were looking for buys to continue. But obviously, when a lot of fear and uncertainty floods the market, what gets flooded? We will know this: safe havens, right? What's yen? A safe haven, and what's GBP? That's a risk asset, right? So all the money floods out of risk assets and goes into safe havens. And the reason why gold goes up is because it's a safe haven as well. And so if we look at this, you can see we flew down, right? Nowhere near the targets that I had. This is, like I said, news related. And, the news actually came out a little bit earlier, I believe, about before 11, sorry. So this was just fueling that. But also we were having reaction at 164, which is a key high time frame level. Then we go over to gold. As you can see, we're looking for, initially for sales, depending on PPI, which was meant to be the main narrative for today, or the main data release, which would dictate where price would be heading, which narrative it was supporting. Pivot prayers, buys above 1912. Then if it's dollar domination, sales below these 1902 and then 1897. And let me tell you, I was wrong again. For buys, easy buys above 1912, you could have caught. I didn't catch those because I wasn't trading at that time. But we also had nice buys all the way up to 1937, 100. So let's have a look and see what we took today. Frustrating day, minus 5% again. I look at this, I'm like, right, I understand all the fundamentals, I understand, and I'm explaining to myself and to my peers what's going on in the market. I can tell you what's going on, but the executions that I'm doing are very poor, and that's my main issue that I'm going to be working on. So GJ, this morning I took a trade. Ask me why, I don't know, right? I was waiting for a break of 164 to continue the bullish push, but we didn't get that, right? And I've entered a trade at 8:22, which is after London Open, after the volume sort of flood the market, at a very high level, because it's a quick break, and I'm expecting a quick break and retest. But the volume entered from where my cursor is here, right? We've had the volume from here to here, nothing moved. So in my mind, I was like, I can take a quick buy once it breaks above and rejects 164 and pushes up. But of course, it needed a bigger pullback. GJ has been flying up the past couple days. It just recovered from Monday, right? It just looked, 350 pips. It needed a slight correction, right? So a bit of a pullback down to maybe 163, 200, I believe I had on my one. Yes, I had 163, 200 was an option till it got broken, then 162, 300, and 162 flat. None of these happened because of the recent news, but that buy nonetheless was, stupid. Let's hop over to gold quickly. Gold, we had 4 trades. First trade, in my opinion, was waiting. I was waiting for after PPI, so this is all after PPI. So this was at 2:05, this trade, UK time. And remember, the 4-hour candle is open at 1 p.m. at the moment due to daylight savings changing in the US. So as you can see, we're going to pull back straight to one of my key levels, actually. And the key level here in question was, let's have a look, that was 23,500, right? So that's just around here. So we had a break above, a retest this level to the T, pretty much this to the pipette, right? And an entry once this broke above after rejecting. Stop loss was below here, about 25 pips. And my target was to continue breaking above and create new highs. Did we get that? No. What I did was I closed my trade here. Once it failed to go any higher than these 1 minute lower highs, let's say, and then close, right? It did go and retest the high at 129, but I didn't want to hold on to that, so 129,500 was tapped and rejected. What did I do? I took another entry because it's the same trade I did. I was expecting 129.50 to break once we had the data get digested, and with all the new FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt in the markets, I'm expecting more buys because, like I said before, gold is a safe haven. It's a precious metal. It's scarce. Everyone floods that when times are uncertain. It always holds its intrinsic value, right? Or its value, sorry. And so an entry here, once it was an impulsive entry because I'm expecting a lot of volume once it breaks these levels because we have so much volatility and volume in the markets. We didn't get that, right? We got rejection. I'd say, in my opinion, this was before NYSE open. I should wait. Patience, right? Rejected. We pulled back, grabbed more orders. So it's like, we're grabbing more orders. Nice. NYSE opens around here. This candle here. Grab bigger candles. I'm like thinking nice. We get a deeper pullback to 1920.6. Nice. And then we tap it again, 1960.20. 1920.6. And then I take an entry. Once we reject this huge rejection candle, about 20 pip rejection, 25 pips, I put it stop below and we take an entry to retest at least 129,500. We didn't get that. We got a range around, so I closed around break even. And that's what this trade is here. So my loss for today, my main two losses were, we had loss at GJ this morning, full loss, silly trade, and this entry here, which was aggressive, right? Bad timing. The other two entries were fine. They made sense. We managed them well. This trade, I mean, why would you? I wouldn't have closed here. Let it go to break even. That's fine. Managed that well. The last trade was at 1922. Let's have a look. And that was this one here. So as you can see, the same idea, exact same idea as the previous trade. So overall, we've had 3 trade ideas throughout the day. We're not going against our bias. We had 1 trade idea in London, 2 in New York. This is the first trade idea in New York. This is the second, right? This is around 3:10 p.m., 3:11, 3:12 p.m. here. We have an entry, right? We rejected 120,600 again. So we broke above, rejected, and I've entered once as we had a strong bullish candle, stops below around 22 pips. We failed to break above, so now it indicates to me we're going to range. I close the trade. You know, we're going to start ranging. That's fine. Great trade management, great entry. That's fine. And then the rest of the day occurs. And for me, the frustrating thing that was going through my mind when talking about this was if we quickly swap over to this last trade. I was waiting the whole day after this long range, as you can see on my chart, this long range that we tried to enter entries on. I waited, I waited and waited because I thought, right, if we were to break 1929.5, this line here, we are going to have a lot of volume in the markets, especially, and volatility, especially with all the FUD, and that this would be a quick push up before London close, or during London close, before the end of the day. And what do we get? We get that close. We get that push up. And I didn't get the entry, and I was waiting all day for this after my last entry. And the only way I could see this is I knew it would be a volume push. I knew it would be momentum. So you have to enter quick, right? You either enter with a buy stop, which in my opinion is quite risky, or as soon as this candle closes where my cursor is, you put a stop loss, default 20 pips, right? To target these 1 to 3 targets, which is tapped perfectly and then rejected down. And that's was very bittersweet to see, because nice to see my traders are actually working, but very bitter that I'm not in them. And so going forward for me, tomorrow, I'm just going forward, I'm very strict in my 1 to 2 traders per session, and executing at the right times for me is important. I've got the knowledge, I've got the psychology. I'm just lacking the execution and the confidence with some of the executions. So going forward, we're going to be implementing that and actually making the most of what I know. So stay safe for tomorrow, and we'll see what the markets give for us tomorrow.